Right, first one we're going to cover is the THRM-213. As everything is opening back up, there's a lot of concerns on protecting your customers and even your employees. How do you make them feel safe coming back to work? How do you make them feel safe coming back to your business? So with this product, we're finding products that we're able to fit that need for those customers so that they can alleviate those concerns. So the first unit we're going to cover is the single wrist unit. It's the THRM-213. This has a little temperature device on the bottom. Some of the advantages, again, there's no direct contact with this. It uses an AI face detection to actually look for a person's face and identify that's a person. And then it does a scan to detect the temperature. And this is accurate within 0.5 degree Fahrenheit. So it's very accurate. It's going to give you a really good temperature rating. And there's a bunch of other features that this unit has and supports as well. But 20 to 30 people per minute. So again, it's not super slow, but there needs to be some type of checkpoint before anybody can come into the building. They would walk up and get scanned. And this would let them know if they're wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. We even have a hard hat feature built in for, say, construction sites. So if there's workers coming into work, they don't have their hard hat on and a mask, or if they have a fever, they're not permitted to enter the building. So it's a little sensor that we have mounted to the bottom of the unit. This sensor comes with a little bracket that allows you to mount it to other devices. We feel this is probably the best spot to mount this unit on the unit. It's right there in the front. It makes it really easy to access.
Yeah, and one thing I'll jump in here on is, the temperature detection is one part of it, right? The face detection is the other piece. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to build a database. So if somebody comes in or tries to get into your facility, your building, your retail establishment, or your restaurant with a high temperature, the facial detection is on there, so it builds a library of that person or of those people that come in, those with normal temperatures and abnormal temperatures, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to turn away that person with an abnormal temperature and have them come back and try to get back into your facility unnoticed.
That's correct.
So, a lot of people have had questions about, well, why not just the temperature, the wrist temperature detection? Why do we need facial? Yeah. It's a safeguard against somebody who has an abnormal temperature about getting back in. And it also allows you to pre-build a database of employees, approved employees, to get into the facility as well.
That's right. So just to cover what Chris was talking about, you're able to save up to 10,000 faces in this unit. And that's employees' faces or whoever you want, but it saves those faces, and then it will basically give them some type of ability to open a door or not open a door based off if the unit can recognize the person or not. So whether it's they're wearing a mask, they're not wearing a mask, there's a fever, or they're just not in the database, that would actually allow or not allow them to get into the unit. Next, just to cover some technical stuff. Again, we just covered the 10,000 face capacity that's built into it. It's a 7-inch touchscreen. It uses 2 megapixel sensor, and that's for the face detection. As I covered earlier, it is half a degree detection, which is very accurate. And you want something this accurate, especially when you're trying to detect fever or high elevated body temperature. So great video, Chris. Yeah.
Super simple.
So I'm sure some of you guys out there are probably like, hey, why didn't he use a magnetic screwdriver? Chris went around the office and grabbed whatever he could find.
Yeah, exactly literally. I just cobbled it together, and it's super easy with whatever tools you have.
Yeah, hopefully you can see after he installed that, it's not a lot to it. Same type of rules apply if you wanted to mount it to a wall or something like that. Next, we're going to get into the 213 setup video. This is actually will cover the actual on-screen display of the unit. So what you want to do is hold down on the screen for more than 3 seconds to activate the menu. You're going to enter the password. You'll initiate this when you first boot up the unit. You're able to change the password once you get into the unit as well. So you have the option of changing your admin password. First tab we're going to get into is your basic info. Basic info will give you your model number, firmware version, and just other information about the product. There's nothing we could do in there. Under device location, you would assign a location to this device, maybe the building number, community, and then maybe which unit this product is. And you can have up to 3 units in that same location. Next, we'll go into IP configuration. This is where you'd actually adjust your network settings. What you see there is the default settings. So you are able to adjust that. On the front of the unit, it does display the IP address too. This is where we'd go to activate the password, enter in the old password that you created, and then create a new password. Admin password will allow you to disable or enable this. So you can actually turn it off if you don't want the unit to have any kind of password set up. User management, this is where we covered where you can enter in your employees' information, up to 10,000 faces. You enter in the person's name, gender, maybe their employee number. Make sure you take a picture of the person's face. You can store 3 to 4 of them if you'd like. We recommend maybe having different angles. That will save that, and after that, it basically will allow you to enter the building. If you're in the system, if you're not, then it'll bypass you. Under authentication scene, we have temperature measurement only, face recognition with temperature, and then face scan where it requires you to be in the database on that third option there. Default will come to face recognition, and you can turn the mass detection on or off, adjust Celsius or Fahrenheit, and then you could go in and actually adjust each temperature range. So if you want to increase or decrease the range, or if maybe you want to lower or increase the threshold for alarm. After all that, if you're done with it, you did a firmware upgrade, this is where you'd go default and reset the unit. Pretty much that's it with the unit. As you can see, it's pretty simple. As we kind of cover the browser portion, we'll just kind of show you, you're able to do the same functions through the browser as well. So next, we're going through the browser. If you've seen any IP camera type browsers, it's very similar. You'll have your normal image camera adjustments. But from here, you're able to go in and do the exact same settings that we were able to do through the unit. So you go and turn on mass detection, a hard hat if you want. You're able to go through and just do all the adjustments from the unit itself, as well as take snapshots through the browser or record video from the browser as well. So just to give you an idea, most of the features you'll be able to do through the unit, but if you want to control most of it from PC, it's very doable. Again, right now we're supporting a web browser function for this. We'll have the complete video of the interface up. So later on, if you guys want to kind of go through the whole interface a little bit more at your own speed, we'll have the video up ready for you guys. Just going to kind of breeze through here real quick.
So is there anything that you can do in the web client that you can't do from the unit itself normally?
Yeah, so this section here that I'm covering, so we have some weekend outputs and door contacts. This is where you'd want to go to set that up. So again, not integrated with any access control, but just pretty simple. If it doesn't detect the temperature, it can open the door. If it detects the temperature, it cannot open the door. So it's just very, very basic on what it can do.
But you would do that from here and not from the unit itself?
That's correct. That will have to be done through the browser itself, and this is the screen that's covering it right now.
And that's a single door, right? So it's literally just one door.
One-to-one right now. That's
Gotcha.
it. Yeah. So nothing advanced. And again, through here, I don't have any faces stored, but this is where you would actually be able to go and search faces. We have the cloud set up for this as well, so you can actually view it through your smartphone if you like. But again, just very light features, just viewing pretty much.
Normal temperature. Please proceed. Abnormal temperature. Normal temperature. Please wear a mask.